Good afternoon, Seawolves. We've got a jam-packed episode for you today filled with expert health tips, and on my way here, it was cold and crazy.
And it's the sixth of the week of the semester, also known as a lot on our plate. And there are a lot of strange things going on. Washington is aligning itself with the Kremlin. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
And if that's coming up big and bold, so are the sniffles. The New York State Health Authority reports 400,000 cases of influenza so far this year. Influenza, that's medical talk for what we call the flu. And the season's only half over.
Jaren, how have you been feeling this flu season?
As someone who's immunocompromised, I have to admit, I'm feeling pretty anxious, especially with all the health concerns happening globally and locally, from the mystery illness in Congo to the measles outbreak in Texas and even here in New York, where flu cases are an all-time high.
Well, luckily, Jaren, Stony Brook University seems to be doing quite okay. Let's see what they have to say and what I have to say.
A mystery illness has killed more than 50 people in northwestern Congo. Here in the States, an outbreak of measles in West Texas brought about tragedy as the first measles death occurred in a decade. And New York is not spared with their own health concerns, as there has been nearly 300,000 flu cases in New York State. But you know who's mostly spared from all of these health crises? Stony Brook University.
On our campus, I haven't seen anything in terms of significant, but I do know nationally I've seen that the numbers of flu cases have risen. And so we always recommend to everybody on campus, our students, wash your hands. Very, very important. And don't share drinks with other people. We just want to make sure that you stay healthy. You sneeze into your arm. So there are other things to make sure that you are staying safe and not potentially infecting other people around you. At Stony Brook, we have our amazing student health services. We have timely care. So those are two critical resources for students to access for medical care. Should they feel ill for anything, whether it's COVID, flu, or otherwise, we are here for our students to make sure that they're getting the help that they need to get better and return back to class.
Now let's hear from SBU students who have dodged these diseases and their advice to you.
What I've noticed is that a lot of kids or students that actually get sick, they don't go to get tested. They just go through with it and then just leave it be, and that just causes it. If they don't know it, they're gonna get somebody sick. So what I would really recommend is, as soon as you get sick, go to the health center and get yourself a COVID test kit.
When you sense that the weather is changing and it's colder, you need to get a jacket, don't be lazy, and also just do exercise to build a better immune system.
Now that you got SBU students' opinion, time for my opinion as somebody who's never had COVID and barely ever had the flu. Go outside in 20-degree weather, like me, with no jacket. Just kidding. Never take my advice. Please, please, please wear a jacket. A nice big jacket like this will help you stay warm and not sick at all, because nobody wants to be sick during midterms. I'm Isha Butt at Stony Brook. Back to you guys in the studio.
I was the handy helper. That sun was crucial for the perfect lighting. Aisha, hope you have got some sunshine in the forecast this week. Perfect for the golden hour selfies. Take it away.
Thanks, Jaren. As you can see, the clouds are extremely crisp, courtesy to EarthCam. We're heading into warmer weeks, Seawolves, so it might be time to start shedding a few layers. Starting off with Monday, we're looking at a high of 34 degrees under sunny skies. It'll cool down overnight with a low of 27. Tuesday brings one of the warmest days of the week with a high of 47 and a low of 44 as the evening sets and skies will stay sunny. Throughout the day by midweek, we'll see more clouds with mild temperatures sticking around. Wednesday will reach a high of 54 under mostly cloudy skies, with rain likely in the afternoon as temperatures dip to 49 degrees. Thursday is shaping up to a mild with a slight chance of lingering showers in the morning. Expect a high of 56 with a low of 32 under partly sunny skies. Friday cools down a bit with a high of 46 and a low of 37 under sunny skies. Good news for the weekend. Warmer temperatures are sticking around. Saturday brings a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 46 and a low of 31. This will be a great opportunity to enjoy the milder weather this week. Just don't forget to keep a jacket nearby. That's your forecast, Seawolves. Enjoy the warmer temperatures while they last. Reminder, daylight savings begin this Sunday, March 9th. Don't forget to set your alarms forward 1 hour. This means losing an hour of sleep, so plan accordingly, especially for early Monday classes. Back to you at the desk.
Wow, the weather really is all over the place. But guess what? I'm still not wearing a jacket.
I hope Mother Nature is treating Leanne well. For the one-day update, Leanne.
Last week we got the taste of spring that we've been looking for, but today the cold is back. We're seeing a high of 39 degrees with mostly clear skies, but the wind is definitely keeping it chilly. Tonight we'll be seeing a low of 29 degrees, so definitely be sure to bundle up. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Leanne. Spring can't come soon enough. Shiver me timbers.
Your timbers may be shivering, but the cold never bothered me anyway.
And now from Leanne, out in the cold, 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 let's go to something hot, hot, hot. Social media and the questions that plague us all the time. Now for some insight into that, let's go to Admir Rudancic.
Teenagers spend 5 hours a day on social media. With the recent influx of AI on all platforms, it is becoming harder and harder to recognize what is real and what isn't. News is catching up fast as fact-checking divisions become more commonplace. Rona Tarrant, the executive editor of CBS News Confirmed, came to speak about verification last Wednesday in the Wang Theatre. Tarrant, a graduate from the University of Limerick in Ireland for New Media and English, started her career in broadcast and radio, but made the pivot to verification and social media. Tarrant joined us for an interview in the field of journalism outside the Wang Center.
What do you think was the single best piece of advice you've been given as a journalist?
I think one of the best pieces of advice I got was go into it without an ego. So I think very often people can go into journalism with a sense of what they really want to do, and I think that's really important to hold on to. But I also think going into journalism, with it being such a difficult field and there being so much to cover, that you have to be willing to kind of cover anything. So when I went into journalism, I pretty much kind of went where I was needed, and that served me really well. And I also think just sort of being strategic about where the industry is going as well. So if you see there's like an emerging part of the field that's going to be part of journalism for the next while, like I would get involved in that as well. But I think the biggest thing really is to sort of go into it and just be willing to do what needs to be done.
You went to the University of Limerick for New Media and English. You mentioned how you studied James Joyce. How do you think that's affected your life as a whole and your career especially?
I think people who get into journalism often are sort of looking at like the big questions. And on my team at CBS News, we have a lot of English majors. So a lot of people who get into journalism seem to study that. I think it was really helpful for me in terms of critical thinking. Particularly when you're covering any news story, you always need to be able to see it from multiple perspectives, and you also need to be able to play devil's advocate in your own head. So not being so certain about your own narrative from the very beginning, always being open to questioning that. So I think studying English and being able to articulate a point and articulate it clearly I think that's what I learned in college.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
This was Admir Rudancic reporting back to the studio.
Maybe I need to be reading a little more James Joyce. We don't get much of that over at SOMAS.
I'm not sure I remember doing a critique of Ulysses in any of my journalism classes. Maybe our slogan should be bring back James Joyce. Well, I know someone we're dying to bring back, and that's our Adrian. Let's kick it over to Adrian with Adrian's Avenue to hear the latest in sports.
Welcome to Adrian's Avenue, your road to all the sports I care about. I'm your host, Adrian Esposito. We begin with a tragic story from the Stony Brook men's basketball team. The team shared some absolutely heart-wrenching news this week as they lost a former player, Elijah Olani, to brain cancer at the age of 26. Olani played for the team from 2017 until 2020, then transferred to Miami. He returned to Stony Brook and played in 2021 and 2022 before retiring due to his illness. Olani obtained several accolades as a player, including the America East Rookie of the Year award in 2018. We send our deepest condolences to the team and his family and friends after this devastating loss. May he rest in peace. After winning their last two games against Hofstra and Elon, men's basketball is headed to the CAA tournament. The Seawolves are seeded 13th and will play 12th-seeded Delaware on Friday. Player Andre Snoddy broke 1,000 career points this weekend. The women's basketball team had been doing well, but lost 5 games in a row and dropped to 12th in the CAA standings. The team plays Hofstra on Thursday and the last game of the regular season against Drexel on Saturday. The team now has 11 wins and 17 losses. But there is some good news for the women. Like Snoddy on the men's team, Women's basketball player Zeta Gonzalez also reached 1,000 career points this weekend. Congratulations to both players on joining the 1,000 points club. The New York Yankees are riddled with injuries. Luckily, it's only spring training. 3 major players, including designated hitter Giancarlo Stanton, infielder DJ LeMahieu, and reigning Rookie of the Year pitcher Luis Gil, are all currently on the injured list. With all the injuries, it's no wonder the Yankees lost to the Atlanta Braves 11-1 on Sunday. The Yankees play the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight with Captain Aaron Judge back in the lineup. In New York Mets news, Juan Soto hit another home run. I still think the novelty of his new team will wear off soon enough. Pitcher Sean Manaea is injured. The Mets lost to the Boston Red Sox on Sunday by a score of 6-4, but beat the Tampa Bay Rays 10-1 on Saturday. They play the Miami Marlins tonight. The New York Knicks beat the Heat in Miami last night. Literally. They triumphed over the Miami Heat in overtime, 116-112. The Knicks currently have 40 wins and 20 losses and are third in the standings. They play the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night at 7:30. The Brooklyn Nets are doing really well. Just kidding, they lost 4 games in a row. They're 12th in the standings. The Nets have 21 wins and 39 losses. Tomorrow, they head to Texas to play the San Antonio Spurs at 8:30. Normally, Adrian's Avenue focuses on New York teams, but today we break new ground and venture to California to discuss a legend. Current Los Angeles Laker LeBron James has been playing professional basketball since 2003. The video chatting service Skype was created that same year. 22 years later, LeBron is still playing, and Skype is set to shut down on May 5th. This means his career will outlast Skype's existence. And LeBron is about to reach 50,000 career points between the regular season and the playoffs. He currently stands at 49,999 career points. This is a milestone that has never been reached before and will likely never happen again. He's the GOAT for a reason. I know I will be watching. The Lakers play the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow night at 10:30 to witness history. Thanks for joining me for Adrian's Avenue. Back to you at the desk.
Wow, Isha, I'd love to be a record breaker like LeBron James. Imagine setting a record no one's ever touched. Although speaking of records, I'm pretty sure getting an A+ is one I won't break, especially since Stony Brook doesn't even give them out.
Yeah, I think that's unfair. But there really is a lot of smart people like you, Jaren, that really do get a lot of A's. Oh, I made you blush.
Oh, stop. Now, midterms and daylight savings are coming, which means some bad news for Seawolves, as they'll have 1 less hour to study. Good news, though, after next week, it is spring break. So hang in there, Seawolves.
Get ready and get studying. We will be back next week and be paying attention to that daylight savings.
Stay warm.
Or not. I'm Isha Butt.
And this has been Jaren Tasnim. See you
next week.
This is The Big Show. The Big Show.